the violent act is not as much as it used to be, which is usually starting with them. But there are gross failure in some aspect, especially in this federal capital, where they opened fire at people. Even journalists like you complained. They tear gas them. They use live bullets in a in a protesting crowd. That the protest signal was sent over a month before it started. So if they are to be very, very much professional, they would have made it a friendly protest, because even they themselves that are police, I would say about 95% of them are also suffering the same cause that these children are protesting against. So the management, I won't applaud them so much like many people are doing, because we can see example of what is going on in UK. The police still maintain their integrity. And of course, looking back to before the protest started, the IGP threatened, and so many people threatened, and that actually shows to us that they are not in the same shoes with Nigerians in pretense, because they are feeding from the Commonwealth of Nigeria. But be that the case, one day they will have to pay the price also if things are not changed. But I want to give it to the army, who in their conduct, except on one occasion that maybe the bullet hit somebody, and I think that was done in defense of their life, since the crowd were attempting to overpower them. So we are Nigerians. Do you know the authority from above, what they are saying to the people? Because they are most hypocrites. When they are in this other side of the divide of the suffering poor, they will talk as if they are reasonable. But when they get to that side of the people in power, they will decide to be hypocritical, and they will be economical with the truth and agitate against the poor. So the strata has changed, so the music has changed, the dancing step has changed, which is not supposed to be. We don't have ideologists in government, so that is the long and short of it. These boys have a demand. They put it forth to the government. Peacefully, they came out. And of course, if you look at the clips, you never see anyone with stick, neither do you see anyone with dagger. So it actually portends to us that these people are actually speaking with the permitted tools to speak. So that is the essence of protest, to air out your grievance so that the government will hear you out and make amend. So it was a peaceful protest. Lagos of all places, there wasn't violence. And when the talks maybe hired or in solidarity with the government on the personality of the president, when they came out, the protesters gave them way. They never allow fracas to ensue at that point. So it actually tells us that they were mindful of what they are looking for: hunger, protest.
As a democratic nation, protest is a constitutional right. It's unfortunate that there have been so many attempts trying to stop the protest. It's unfortunate because no power, no government, no minister, no president can stop protest as long as it is democratic system of government. The constitution that make us call him or her a president, a minister, an army, a police officer is the same constitution that said protest should be allowed. And so far the protesters at the beginning were doing well, but unfortunately until the military, the police started dispersing them with tear gas, and the moment people are dispersed, those that are on rampage, of course, there is no kind of violence that we can, in short, we can't measure the kind of violence that can come up with it. And the moment people are angry, anything can happen. That is why it is always advisable that security operative coordinate themselves in a manner that the protesters will do their protest in peace, and then everything goes well. But what happened is unfortunate, and so far, like in Abuja and some places, the protesters seems to be more peaceful than some other places. But the infiltration of some bad elements that were now causing some kind of havoc is unfortunate. That most of them were even sponsors. Some of them were interviewed, and they said how much was given to them to come and infiltrate the peaceful protest. All of this still pointing back to the fact that government were against the protest, which is not supposed to be so. We pray that in time to come, our government should know that protest is a legitimate thing and should be done anytime, any day, and should be well guided so that it doesn't translate to this kind of violence that we see around. We pray that as time goes on, it get better. Or the president's address to Nigerian protestants. We call it address, but it did not address the situation at hand. This is tag end bad governance protest. The second hashtag is hunger protest. And when the president addressed the nation, he did not pick even one out of all the issue at point. That okay, let me handle 1 and 2, then the remaining one, let's sit down and see how we can discuss and then analyze how to solve them. But rather, he only said the security should just continue to protect life and property. So even a child, when a child is crying maybe for a bicycle which you don't have the money to buy, of course you can tell the child, okay, don't worry, I will buy this bicycle for you, but for now take ice cream, take a bobo, take something, at least that child, just to calm the child for the moment. But in this case, the president did not pick a point, just at least one to okay, let me handle this one so that the remaining one can be discussed later. So the president's speech did not address the situation at hand. We pray that maybe as time goes on, maybe if there is more protest, because it appears this protest is just a kind of halting, calm down, and it may be back with full force, even much more force, far than what we have seen. We pray that it doesn't get bad.